Alan Grubb. There was a young lady from Bude who went for a swim in a lake. A man in a punt. Okay.
A bit askew, should we say.
I feel a bit askew as well, I have to say.
It's all right.
You're both allowed to feel a bit askew at 7 a.m, okay?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I admitted to Neil just now that I nearly came in my robe this morning. So that's my spandex.
As opposed
my
to your
Hugh Hefner robe.
Spanx.
Yeah.
You look in your Spanx.
And
Well, it is
we have
rather
them
early
both
for
on
us,
tape
isn't it?
as well. We have both admissions on tape as well.
Oh, shit. You were recording already. Damn it. Oh, goodness.
Okay, yeah, let's do this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Ferguson Harrington Hawks.
I'm Ferguson.
I'm Harrington.
And I'm Hawks.
Were you worried there, Neil? Were you worried?
You just took this little pause there, you know. Was it just for pause for effect?
You look surprised. You actually look surprised by your own name, Ches. That's what I thought. Really?
I'm always surprised by myself somehow. I'm surprised I'm up at 7 a.m.
I am. Big props to the pair of you. It's 7 a.m. in your land, isn't it? Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
It is. It's just bloody early. I'm surprised by the name Hawks for you, I have to say, because Hawks is kind of, you know... Oh, okay, so Hawkses are adorable, right? Like hawks, right? Bird hawks. But they're scary, fighty things.
They're vicious
my
little
chickens,
things.
my chickens are
Oh, I'm scared
forever.
of hawks.
Well,
But they like me,
because
so...
they do like you. But
Well-
so that's a... Have you ever found that having the name of a predator has been problematic for you?
That's not something I've ever thought about. Isn't it
Yeah,
funny?
you have a name of a predator.
Yeah, but I'm like a bird of prey, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like top of the tree, I guess. You know,
Well, I
strong.
guess that basically you destroy people with your adorability, Chesney.
There it is.
Maybe because I'm a predator by name, I've made up for it for in other ways. For being fluffy.
Right, I need to tell you about my weekend's research in preparation for today's show.
Oh, is it about
Okay,
predators,
this
Neil?
sounds
Is it
interesting.
No, it's not predatory at all. It's just relevant because you know me. I take my work seriously. You know, it's not all just thrown
very
together.
seriously.
Right.
Very seriously.
It's carefully crafted. So I was thinking about today's guest, and I went out and researched at the weekend. The closest I could get was I went to a transvestite nightclub on Sunday night.
You did?
Good man. Did you dress up, Neil?
No, we didn't dress
No
up.
spandex?
But quite randomly, we ended up at a transvestite nightclub in the arse end in Hertfordshire at 3 o'clock in the morning, dancing with Sally Switchboard and Greta Grip, who I have
love
to
it.
say, and Greta Grip was fabulous. She
Wow.
really was. Yeah.
Wow, you've really
committed,
gone for
right?
it.
And I should be.
Yeah, this is committed.
That is cool. Hey, you know, I'm qualified too.
Are you?
Yeah, because the first house that we bought in LA, remember this, Jez? Well, I don't know if you know because
Of course, I know this story well. I know what's coming. Yes.
So the
yes.
first house we bought in LA, the former owners were the owners of the most popular transvestite drag queen nightclub in called the Queen Mary.
Ah.
God, you can tell it's 7 o'clock this morning. I was like, what do you call?
I know, I'm a bit brain fogged as well, Lynn, I
Yeah.
have to say.
Well, in the house, right? I had these weird areas, like in one of the bathrooms, we used to call this bathroom the Liberace because it was all gold, right? Because when we got it, it wasn't very pretty. It had been run down. In fact, it had been a sober living house for a while, so we found crack pipes up the chimney and everything. But before, in its glory days, it still had its gold bathroom, like its golden sink or kind of more quality street wrapper sink. And it had a matching shower door, right, over the shower area, but it also had an adjoining door that was round the toilet, right? So there was a glass door around the toilet. So that was either for someone's viewing pleasure or because the people there were very, very splashy. Right? And then upstairs we had a stage. And then at one point we were just out in the backyard, well, the front yard, and this man came round and he'd lived next to the house when the people who owned the Queen Mary lived there. And when he was a kid, and he said they used to be painted pink and they had a lot of Roman statues and they would have naked pool parties in the backyard and they had a little white poodle that used to jump off the diving board into the pool. Right?
Oh, fabulous.
That is
so fabulous. Wasn't there a pole as well in that room?
Well, there was a stage upstairs for sure.
Yeah.
And like it was positioned in a way that there would have been a pole.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the things about LA, because in the UK, because of the way that they build houses, you'll get a lot of houses that are the same shape, right? In London, the terraced houses are roughly the same shape. In LA, no, they laugh in the face of planning permission. And so basically every house that you go in is a different shape, right, Jess?
Very different.
So tell us about your research. Did you do more research, or was it dancing?
No,
Dancing
no.
research?
So today's guest's quote, I think this inspirational quote is effectively a battle cry. To me, that's what I think it stands for. A battle cry, we all know, is a phrase shouted by soldiers going into battle to express solidarity and to intimidate the enemy. Now, this was quite interesting, I thought. Battle cries are not necessarily articulate. Well, we all know that because we hear the "brrr" and the "rah," although they often aim to invoke patriotic or religious sentiment. But where does the battle cry originate, and how has all that come about? So this is where I think it gets interesting. So across mammal species, males will frequently engage in posturing that includes roaring, snorting or screeching. But today's quote and battle cry isn't from a male. And that's exactly the point.
So it's not going to be a roar then?
No.
If it's a male, they're a roar.
No, it's not a roar. Today's guest has struggled all their life with who they are and actually identifies as non-binary. So we have a showbiz quote from today's guest. And I thought, as you two are in showbiz, if I act it out, you might be able to guess it.
Wow, this is fun.
No, right?
This is the game we're going to play today. This is where the research ended up, okay?
Chesney, can I ask you, is this really happening, or am I just tired?
I feel like I'm still dreaming.
Yeah, me too, right? Is it because it's really early in the morning? Did
very
Neil just
early.
say he was going to
still a
act
dream.
something out?
I said I'm in a bit of a brain fog, but
Yeah,
this is
right.
Yeah.
So-
Let's play it out, Lynn, and see
Play
what
it
happens.
out. Today's quote, okay? 3 statements. Here is the first one, okay? Here is the first statement.
Okay, so listeners, just so that you know, Neil is pouring a shot of gin or tequila or whatever it is,
And he's drunk it.
and he's drunk it.
So that's the first one.
You can hear how manly Neil is there.
You've hit, that is the first part of the quote. Pour, you were right with pouring myself.
Pour.
Okay, pour.
The second part of the quote.
Okay, listeners, Neil is now applying lipstick by the... Yeah,
I'm a little
he is.
more frightened. But
Where is he?
Chesney, is this a bad dream? Are we in,
I'm definitely in a surreal moment.
So what have I done?
You look beautiful, love.
What have I
frightened
done?
me. You frightened
You've got yourself
me.
ready. You've had a stiff drink, and you put on your war paint, and you're ready to
Exactly.
go out. Okay,
So
what's
this
happening?
quote was by Elizabeth Taylor. Okay, this quote was. That's where it stems
Is
from.
it something like drink a stiff gin and put on lipstick or something? Is that what it is?
Well, yeah, exactly. Pour yourself a drink, put on some lipstick, and pull yourself together. I didn't get to the end of pulling myself together.
Well, I'm glad you didn't pull yourself together, like, because Jess and I were already struggling. I am liking this Neil 3.0, the new version.
This is
but-
more like Neil 4.0, isn't it?
Right? Yeah.
You know, I never thought I'd see him putting on lipstick. To be
I
honest
just
with
went
you.
off a tangent with your heads at 7 a.m. That's all it is. So the quote, the inspirational quote from today's guest, that's it. Pour yourself a drink, put on some lipstick and pull yourself together. And that is apparently a quote from Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah.
So that was the link. That's why I went down the battle cry route. What do you think, guys?
I think there is a thing with that, though, too. Like, what comes to mind is early morning, it's not the cheeriest story. But I think I do like that up and get on with it thing. I have a kind of weirdy story, which is that at one time I was playing the dame in a pantomime. Oh, no, I wasn't. Oh, yes, I was. And it's behind me, though. It's in my past. It's behind me. And at the time, my mum was really, really ill. And it didn't look like she was going to make it through Christmas. And there wasn't any replacement. There wasn't a replacement for me. And so if I hadn't done it, then the show would go down until they could find someone. And it was my dad. Because I was going, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go up there and do it. My dad went, it's everybody's Christmas. He said, you can't do that. It's everybody's Christmas. And what are you going to do anyway? And it was one of the best things, actually, because I couldn't do anything. And but it was this weird combination of things where I was dressed as, was it Granny Green or something like that? And I can't even remember what the thing was. It was Babes in the Wood at the Tron anyway, and I had all magic rings and singing bees and all manner of stuff. But so like during the day, like the pantomimes during the day and at night, I was like all padded up with big face and lipstick. And then as soon as the show went down, I would call my dad and say how his mum is she made it through the next hour.
Oh wow, Lynn, that's tough.
Well, do you know? I think the reason I bring it up though is because it is tough technically on paper, I guess. But I wonder, the tough part of it is that it's a horrible situation to be in, right? And if a parent is a very beloved parent appears to be dying, that's a horrible thing. But then the thing after that is, what is your choice?
Yeah.
You know, if I decided not to do the pantomime and just sat around going, oh, look, I'm having a terrible time, what difference would it have made? It wouldn't have changed the thing that really was hurting. So I get it. I do think about that. I think that's kind of...
And it's beautiful of your dad to say that. Can I just say, when you first said that there was no one to replace me, and then you said, and it was my dad, I thought you were going to say he replaced you.
Yeah.
Oh, my dad would have loved that. My dad got up and did it. Wow.
Pantomime
That's
Dane.
pure from my showbiz family. He would have been brilliant.
Been a great Dane.
Brilliant.
There you go. 7 o'clock in the morning, but I don't know about pouring myself a stiff drink and putting on lipstick, because generally, if I'm in a situation where I pour myself a stiff drink, the lipstick is going to be like pantomime afterwards, right? I'll be lipstick, but not necessarily where you put lipstick.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question, Neil? Are you feeling that shot?
It's quite nice, actually. I'm going to go again.
For another one.
You're going to go for another one?
listening.
This is going to be a hell of a show, Lynn.
Yeah.
I know, because the two of us are drunk, tired, and Neil
Totally.
is just drunk.
And he's
I'm
just
just
drunk.
hair of the dog. I'm just hair of the dog from Sunday night. That's why it feels so good.
Oh, my Lord.
All right.
Do you think there's something to be said for like that, with that quote, where it's hiding behind something or kind of like pushing something down before you go and face people? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the sentiment behind it, I think, is probably just like, you know, f*** everyone. And anything that's happening in my life right now, I'm going to have a drink, I'm going to put some makeup on, and I'm going to go and be fabulous. And that's that. And I'm going to forget about things for a while. I just wonder if it's more, pushing things down a little bit, but and knowing that you're going to have to face it eventually.
Well, you must have done that though, Chesney.
Of course.
Right? Like, because the amount of abuse that you took as a 20-year-old or whatever, of like, and actually
19,
you still
really.
get, but at 19 there was a great deal of love, right? And then what comes after the love is
You're right.
like, he's ridiculous or he's a blah, blah, blah. I even
Yeah.
watched you at a party.
You
of ours.
did?
Do you remember? Well, I remember at our party, we have this party, was it a Boxing Day party or something?
Oh, I
we
see.
had? The
Right,
karaoke
right.
party.
Yeah.
And this guy from down the street, God, he was like a neighbour. He's the neighbour that you wish you didn't invite to parties. And he just would not leave you alone. Like, he would not leave you alone. He was like being all assy and, doing one and only jokes and everything.
He thought that being mean was going to kind of endear him to me for some reason, didn't he?
Right.
Off-colour jokes and just kind of like, I bet you love that one and only, all that stuff.
That's alcohol at a party logic, isn't it?
Yeah, that probably
Yeah.
was a bit of that as well.
Yeah, I think he might have done the pushing it down and putting on, but he didn't put the lipstick on. But I watched you with the skill of like a master, where you just would like tolerate it and then you go off and have a really sweet conversation with someone else. Like, for someone who wasn't practiced in dealing with that sort of behaviour, they'd have lost their shit, thrown a rammy and left. Whereas you were just like...
Just another
Yeah, yeah. But your kids as well. Your kids did it. They were just like, yeah, and then go on with it. So I
Dad's
think you've done it.
Abuse again.
Yeah, Dad's getting shit again.
Exactly. Yeah, I guess I've just learned it over the years, to deal with that kind of...
But for showbiz, it's a great saying for showbiz, isn't it? Because I think when we do our Edinburgh run, I'm going to adopt that. That's what
Are you going to put lipstick on every show?
Basically, right on stage right. Okay, I'll be standing there to go on, and you just give me a shot of this. Let me borrow some lipstick, and I'll pull myself together, and we'll be off.
Yeah,
and that'll be the show.
This might be the first podcast we do where Neil's a bit tipsy.
It could be. It could be.
Cheers!
I think maybe we're going in for a third. Oh God!
Let's do it.
God, our poor guest.
And we will see our guest on the other side of this break. All right, we'll see. You
Okay,
all
bring it on.
Cheers.
Bring it on.
Everyone. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, not yet, baby.
Right, I'm going to give you your intro, Ginny, and then we can crack
Fabulous.
on. Right? Are we ready, team? Everybody have a drink. Are we ready to go?
Got my
Yeah, you sure?
What? What, Ches? What?
I was just saying, Neil, are you sure you don't want another shot before you?
Do you have another shot?
Neil is drinking vanilla
for
vodka.
some reason, there is a reason which we'll explain in a minute. But Neil is drinking today.
Good. Get a drink down, you
I've been
girl.
inspired by your quote, love. All right, stand by.
Good,
You ready?
good.
Here we go. Right, so today's guest is currently travelling around the UK starring in RuPaul's Drag Race The Official Tour. One definition of their style is 90s daytime TV presenter on acid, officially the hairiest woman in showbiz, and recently appeared with our Ches on Celebrity Coach Trip. We fancy a slice, so please join us in welcoming improvisational comedian Ginny Lemon on our podcast.
Hiya, Babs. Thanks for having me.
I haven't had you yet, but I'm planning on it.
Oh, you flirt.
Thanks for joining us, Jen. It's so good to see you.
Oh, it's so good to see you. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a hot minute, hasn't it? Since
It has. Well, last time we saw each other was in Portugal.
Oh, and I'll never forget it. How romantic. It was the most sensual holiday I've ever had.
Just me, you, and Nancy Delollier.
Oh, well, someone had to hold the camera.
Oh, I think I might love you, Ginny
We've
Lemon.
not talked about that, have we?
No.
I saw it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I watched it, yeah.
You were the one.
Oh, no, come on. There was at least 3. Come on.
We had. I think we had some good viewing figures there, didn't we? I mean, to be quite frank with you, I was on it, but very briefly. And
Were you?
Ginny and Sister were on it like for 2 weeks, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
3 weeks.
We were pretty much on it the whole time. It was so funny because I was just like, oh, let's just go. I didn't really care what happened. Just go and have a nice time. And then I realised that we were there. We ended up staying there the whole time. And I thought, I shouldn't really say this, but I thought, well, the more I stay here, the more my day rate goes down. So really, who's winning? But I had such a fabulous time. And I met so many, and the people were just so great. And honestly, it was probably one of the best things I've ever worked on. It was hilarious.
Yeah, it was really fun. I was only there for was 3 days, really, Jen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do we love our Brendan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, our busty bee. Oh.
See, because I'm over here, I didn't see it. Over here, as in over in the US, I didn't see it. So can you explain for our listener who may be American, right? What Celebrity Coach Trip is?
Easy peasy.
Right.
So we all got on a coach and we travelled around Portugal, and we get to do, it's usually 2 activities a day. And then at the end of the day, we have to vote off the pair that we kind of least got on with that day. Which then we had to do the vote in front of them and explain our reasons why.
Oh, that is so cool.
Oh, the drama.
That
There was
was-
so much drama, the
I'm
dramatics,
loving
the
it
tears.
already. I'm trying that. I'm not watching. I'm like, I'm going to try and find that. Right. So you voted them off. Sorry, I interrupted with my over exuberance.
Yeah, so you basically vote, and then you either get a yellow card, which means that if you get a yellow card, then you get a red, then you have to go, or you get an instant red card, and then you have to go. So luckily, sister and I only got a yellow card right at the beginning.
So who won? Can I ask that? Would that be?
It
Can
was-
you allowed to see?
Yes, well, because it's already been and gone. So the Birds won. The Birds of a Feather girls, Linda and
Linda
Leslie.
and Paul. Pauline.
No,
Not
Linda Robson and Leslie Joseph.
All right. Or
Yeah.
was that tactical voting that they won, Ginny? You can tell me.
I don't think so, really. I mean, really, they were just the kind of the most game, the most fun, the
Did you say the most
lovable
gay?
people. Oh no,
I don't know about
I
that.
don't think that's true.
no, that was Paul Danan. That was definitely Paul Danan.
Paul Danan, yeah. All right, I'm stripping off now, Gin. I'm stripping off.
Why, yes,
There you go.
wow, it's all this gay chat, yes. So no, they were brilliant, and I mean, they were such good fun every single day. So they never complained. They never, they took their tumbles and they just got up and kept going, which is amazing.
Oh, so they did every single thing, didn't they? Because every day there was like activities that they put on for everyone, and one of the activities was a water slide park, and Linda Robson actually fell out of this there's this massive, huge thing where it dropped into, and it was in a boat, and Linda fell out.
That work?
Oh, it was so funny. Honestly, I could not stop laughing.
Oh,
She
so
could have
funny.
She could have dislocated her arm and I was still laughing, I didn't know until the end that she was all right, but she was absolutely fine.
She was laughing, but Brendan at the end was like, I can't believe I nearly killed a national treasure on live TV.
I'm so glad it's you, Ginny, because you bring life to this. You've got me and Chesney, who are literally exhausted, and Neil, who's drunk on vanilla vodka.
So I hope you can carry this podcast, because the rest
no
of us
pressure.
Oh, yeah, I could do it, baby. Always a professional. What's the play? What's the part? I'll do it.
The reason, of course, that I'm like this is it's all paying homage to your quote, Ginny, of course, which was...
Yes,
Hang on,
yes,
hang on.
Hang on, look, yeah. Oh God, he's off it again. Look
Pour
at this.
yourself a drink.
Be careful there, Neil. I'm worried about you. Another quote.
Put on some
Another
lipstick.
shot.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Go.
How's that
Put
taste?
yourself together. You see, there we go.
Pull yourself together.
There we
There
go.
you go.
So we've set you up,
Oh,
Ginny.
shall I read it out?
You
Shall I
read
read
the
Yes,
it out?
quote.
please,
Yeah, over to
darling,
you,
you.
Ginny. Yeah.
So it's pour yourself a drink, put on some lipstick, and pull yourself together.
Oh, see, I love that. I love that.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Chesney and I were talking about quotes, and it was Chesney that said, "How about this quote?" And I said, "Yes, of course," because my memory is dreadful. And when I hear a good quote, I go, "Was it me? What did I do?" That? Was it me? And I think, "Oh well." But this one, I think, and I've definitely heard it before, and it has stuck with me. It's the idea of, it's kind of that the show must go on, everything must carry on.
Yeah.
You've got to just pull yourself together. Put some lipstick on, have a drink, or whatever it takes. It doesn't actually literally have to be lipstick and booze, whatever it is.
Now
to take
you tell
through the
Neil.
day.
Yeah. Come on.
It's too late, darling. It's too late.
I do things properly, okay? There's no room for ambiguity when you give me instructions like that. So that's what I've done.
Well, it works on a practical level. It works on all levels. That's
Good.
why it's the best quote.
I love it. And yes, I guess you're right. It doesn't necessarily have to mean booze and lipstick and makeup. It's just kind of pulling yourself together. And Lynn and I were talking about the quote before you came on air, and she was kind of likening it to some of my life, like having to deal with certain people, and you just kind of like brush it off and get on with it, don't you? And I think that's I think it's a lot of people could probably relate to it.
Oh,
in a way.
absolutely. I think it's interesting that you say that because, I've kind of just been in this very bizarre show business world for just a couple of years now. And after coming out of this through reality TV, I realised that this sort of showbiz industry is so full of absolute devils and absolute that are just out to kind of look after themselves and to make as much money off your back as possible. Yeah. It is filled with creative, wonderful, gorgeous people as well. But however, this industry is riddled with all of these people who are there to kind of pull you down, and it's kind of one of these things, Ches. I don't know whether you have it, but it's I find it fascinating that when you have this kind of hardship happen to you, you can't say anything about it, because if you go onto Twitter to slag somebody off, or even if you're under contract,
and you seem like a moaner.
Ah, exactly. I mean, then if I say anything bad, I'm just a bitter lemon. So I mean, I've set myself up for that anyway. So it's impossible, really, and that's kind of the idea when you have these people. And also, you know, it's all well to go online and rant and rave, or go to your friends and use whatever public platform you have, but is that helping you? Is that kind of cherishing yourself in any way?
Have you ever got yourself in trouble that way, Jim? Saying something on social media? I can imagine you probably have.
Yes, all the time. You know, I, like you said, I was part of Drag Race. So I was on Drag Race UK, RuPaul's Drag Race UK, season 2. The full title's ingrained in my head. And obviously it was it's a reality TV show, and you go on and you compete in these. And I have always been very open and honest about working and how and where I've come from. You know, I've very much come from a council house, and I've worked my way up. You know, it's very much worked in whatever job I could, and then going on to do something that I love. So I always like to talk about my experiences, and hopefully that will help other people, you know? Yeah. So after I'd been on Drag Race, I had some things to say that weren't entirely positive. And I think that the production team or whatever took this as if me saying that I was, you know, going online and absolutely ripping everything down and slagging off, which I wasn't. I was just talking about my experience. However, I always find that when you're a part of something like that, they only really want to hear your positive experiences. And if not, you've got the big bosses looking at your contract being like this. Yeah. But I haven't said anything, you know, particularly controversial or particularly bad. But what I have done is kind of spoke my truth and spoke honestly about my experiences. So it can come back to bite you in the bum. And that's when you've got to be like, oh, well, okay, maybe I won't be on Drag Race again. But, you know, I could pour myself a drink, pop a lipstick on, and pull myself together. You know,
at least yourself, you can stand up and say I was honest and I spoke truthfully, and you know, you have your integrity there.
Absolutely.
You know, so I mean, that's
but you
how
do
I
have
see
so
it.
much integrity, Ginny, because that's the whole thing. Because you walked off Drag Race, didn't you?
I did, yes. Did you? The only ever one to walk off.
Oh, really? You're the one and only, are you?
Yes, that's me.
Is
the
that
one
what
and
you're
only. Yes, I am the one and only one to walk off. Yeah, so I basically towards the end of the competition, for those who haven't seen it, it's basically finding the best drag queen in the UK, or what RuPaul thinks is best.
And there lieth the problem.
Yeah,
brilliant.
And at the end of each episode, the bottom contestants basically have to lip sync for your life, so they have to compete. And in this particular episode, I always go with my kind of gut and my spirituality and what all of that is saying to me. And in that particular moment, I was lip syncing against a friend to actually one of my favourite songs, a song that is very dear and close to my heart, which they didn't know about. Obviously, it's a very personal thing. So I suddenly had this thing, and with all the other things going on, you know, stuff that the contract permits me from talking about, all of this other stuff, I thought, do you know what? I think I'm just going to go home. I was like, a lockdown was happening, you know, all of this was going on in the air. When I left, the production shut down. So I'm not saying that I cursed the production of Drag Race and coronavirus happened, but, you know, I think because of my spirituality told me to leave at the right time. And for me, I just had to do it. So by walking off goes against all the rules that Drag Race has ever set in place. And I broke them.
So it caused a furore, I presume.
Yes,
it must have done.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Within the drag community.
And you've had to explain yourself ever since.
Oh, ever since, you know, because then you get a barrage of, there's a huge press machine churning out, and then that's it. And they have kind of one version of the story and what it is that they want to see you as. So the rest of the time, the past kind of year or so, probably until Coach Trip, when I was able to be a bit more myself and just to kind of have fun and have a laugh, which is what I wanted to do the whole time. And be shown in that light. as opposed to edited in a way that wasn't correct and didn't happen. So it wasn't until then, but I was really fighting and to kind of get my side of the story out there. Now I'm at a point where I really don't give a shit. I think, well, if I interest you or not, then that's brilliant. And if not, then have a good day and carry on. Find another icon for yourself to worship, another deity.
Coming from where you came from and being as flamboyant as you are, and also you're quite an individual. I suspect that you've spent a lot of your life having to defend your actions, or at least holding your ground, like putting your lipstick on, taking a shot and moving forward, right?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I don't want to be one of these sort of like, yes, it's been a battle, yes, it's been a tough, and yes, it's been a fight. It has been, but now I wear that as a badge of honor. It's a badge that I kind of wear and is part of my armory and my spirituality, which I can go out there and live the life that I live today, to keep fighting and to keep kind of raising awareness about different things. I suppose what's changed is that I've become this kind of angry, selfish individual who was just kind of angry at the world but didn't understand. Now I'm starting to understand a bit more. And also, I've connected through, doing the work that I do. I've been able to connect through thousands and thousands of people. So I'm able to use my voice in a better way. So I can still be angry and still fight, but I can step back and think, what do I really need to fight for? What's my battle? Because before it was kind of, growing up in a council house in a very working class area. Everything was really rough. I came from a family that kind of had a bit of a name and a reputation for themselves in that area. So I kind of, I wasn't a kid to be messed with, but I was also because I was the flamboyant queer one, I was seen as the weak link. I think over years I've been able to see that queerness is actually probably the strongest link that I've got.
It's your strength, yeah.
It's identity.
Yeah.
Within the podcast, Neil does the drinking in this one, the drinking and the lipstick wearing, right? Chesney is adorable and he does music, right? And my part of it is story.
Ooh.
I give you a little exercise where I'll ask you to tell me a story, and while you're doing it, I'll write down notes. And then I tell you what I hear in your story.
Is it a made-up story or
No, it's a real story. It's a real story, and it'll be very easy. I want you to tell me the story of your name.
My name.
The thing with story and the way that I work is that, and it's why I was like, let's do it now, because otherwise I'll know too much, is the way that I work with story is from the principle that nobody ever has or ever will see the world exactly as you do. Therefore, you're your own pot of gold, right? That's the whole thing. So understanding that you don't have to make up a story to be fascinating, that you're fascinating just by breathing and speaking.
Okay.
Right, ready? So 2 minutes. I'll set my timer, right?
Oh, 2 minutes.
You have
Okay.
to go for 2 minutes, yeah.
Ready? And story of your name. Thank you. Go.
Okay, so the story of my name really comes from when I was a lot younger. I used to perform under another name, and I got quite a reputation for drinking gin, so much so that I actually got the nickname from local bars, Ginny, from drinking a large gin and tonic with a slice, and it had to be a slice of lemon. So Ginny Lemon kind of gradually came together. This Ginny nickname had been there through my younger drinking days, and then when I was thinking about this other character to create, Lemon just kind of popped into my head and made sense. And I also had, for years, I was like, shall I have a catchphrase? Should I commit myself to a catchphrase? And of course, Ginny Lemon, fancy a slice, just fits together. And when I first ever told my kind of loved ones and close ones, I said, listen, I've got this catchphrase, what do you think? And I said, fancy a slice? And they said, oh, it'll never catch on. So I basically did it to prove them wrong. So the name and the catchphrase kind of all come together, and the creation of this character, which was a drug-taking, alcoholic, failed character actress, kind of all came together. Some of it inspired, of course, by my real life. But the separation of character and real life, has definitely shown itself in the past couple of years. So I believe that's the story of my name. I mean, I don't know that even fills up 2 minutes.
No, you've got 20 seconds. Keep going.
20 seconds later. Oh, should I just do this? And my other name is Virginia Lime. How about that? Is that...
No.
I still got to... this...
There you go.
This is exams. Oh,
You're
it's done.
Well done.
The test is over.
Well done.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Well done.
No one's ever done that before. That's a first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounded like Neil. Do you know what I mean? Our listener will be listening into that and going, God, Neil really has been drinking now.
Yeah, really guzzling it down. Another bottle gone, Neil.
Oh, so your name, right, in narrative is how you see yourself. And you've redrawn yourself, the person you are now. Like, one, the fact that you really didn't want to go any further in your name than like, and my name's Ginny Lemon, this is a story, is a way of going, stay out. There's a life of mine that's not your business. And I don't really want to talk about it. And if you want to know who I am, this is who I am now. You've made a very distinct and definite decision to be a different person. I mean, I don't think you'd have to be like, Einstein to know that, right? But I suspect that you've been looking for the person that you were meant to be for quite some time. It's like that thing in my head. What I have inside your head is like you've been tuning the radio, like to try and find what the station is. And you're like, no, not that station. No, that's not the right. Oh, that's the station. I'm staying on this station. I'll be on this station right now. The thing of not wanting to talk about anything else is I am what I look like, not what I've been. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, I think that makes utter sense to me. I think there was a bit of kind of therapy mixed with a tarot card reading in there.
Right.
With
Yeah. Do you know what it is, though? That's the thing that's weird about it, though, is the stuff with narrative or, like, with story, is it's all about structure, right? And it's not, like, woo-woo or anything. It literally is, like, listening into how someone speaks. And you are flamboyant and magnificent and bright and funny. Yet when I'm asking you to talk about yourself, you're like, zip. So, like, you don't need to be Einstein to go, oh, I see, you don't really want to talk about yourself, you want to show me this lovely buffet that you've got.
Oh, it's a good buffet.
Is it all you can eat?
It's all you can eat, baby, if you can take it.
It's a smorgasbord, love.
Smorgasbord, I like that. I think it's interesting you said about the changing the channel. I think I like to think of myself somewhere, not so much the person who's changing the button, but some kind of the static in between of the radio channel. And that obviously there is a very personal side to me that's very protected and very kind of precious to myself.
Yeah.
And that's a kind of form of self-love and keeping that part that's just for me. And then the other part of that is being able to explore identity and what that means to me. So I'm able to kind of delve into different characters. And I always say that Ginny as well is like a spiritual possession. It's not so necessarily a character. It's like a being that takes over me. So that's quite different from the work that I've done before, because Ginny is very close connected to me. I suppose you're very right in the sense of Ginny being a public persona, because this is how I kind of, this is how I channel kind of some of my personal and professional things. I channel a lot of that into Ginny. So that's why I like to think of myself, just on that analogy, is that instead of the person turning the knob, more kind of the static atmosphere that's going on in between, because it can kind of come in and out. I suppose that I've got a direct channel to Ginny now, where it used to be a bit crunchy.
No,
so
I
you
love
feel
that.
like she's changed in a way?
Oh, definitely. I think originally, I mean, it's a very sad story, and people always ask me, why did you start doing drag? And in 2016, my sister passed away, And it was a shock and completely out of the blue. And I needed a way to kind of escape real life. So I created the character in order to escape. And spiritually, I surrounded myself in yellow, which is the colour of healing and protection.
So it was a way of dealing with your grief, in a way.
Yeah, it was a way of dealing. It was more of an art therapy for myself. So, which kind of got out of control. And I did things on television and on stage, and then it kind of, I was like, okay. So now I'm this person. Okay, fine. So when I was kind of dealing through all of that sort of stuff, I didn't realise that I was kind of creating a character and a job for myself somewhere in the world, you know. And then when I did, I was like, brilliant. So how can I put all that emotional baggage aside and create this character and have a fun time, you know? And I think the way I've done that is just working with the character and ever changing and kind of changing, progressing, but also sticking to the kind of core ethics of Ginny. So when that character takes hold and the spiritual possession takes hold, I know kind of where she's going to go and what she's going to do. So yeah, I mean, it definitely does go a lot deeper than that.
I love that you say you're the static in between, because I'm like, God, but your sound is so incredibly strong. Like
and clear.
Your identity is really clear. Between Ginny Lemon and the quote, which is put on your lipstick and take a stiff drink and just get on with it, is like really what Ginny represents, right?
Oh yeah.
Because the thing that's in your sound is that you've had. And I mean, that's awful about your sister. I'm so sorry to hear.
Hey, but listen. What is it now? It's 2022, so it's been
6 years.
6 years. You know, I goes, yes, it may be sad that it's been 6 years since my sister's died, but it's also been 6 years since I got away with murder. So you know, it's not all that.
Not been found out yet, love.
But I think that there is that the Ginny Lemon, the character, has allowed you to order, like place in a structure, all the other things that have happened, right? One of the things that I think is really lovable about you, or admirable, maybe they're both together, is that the choice that you make is the sound of you, which is that you've made the decision where you go, this has been really bad, but I'm going to go this direction, you know? And I wonder, actually, this is early morning, maybe I'm being a bit Mystic Meg, but I think that there was a lot of real hardship when you were younger, and that actually your sister dying, it wasn't, nobody's ever prepared for their sibling dying, but I think in your life you'd seen a lot of really, really, really painful things, and so you knew what direction to go in. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, and absolutely. I'm very open about, you know, I didn't have the best childhood. But I definitely had a childhood in a sense of that. It was never taken away from me. I suppose part of the character is being able to, going back slightly to what you said, it is that Ginny did help me, you know, and Ginny was my sort of therapy, my coping mechanism. It wasn't till I churned through the industry of show business that I was like, oh, this means something different now. And that's why I was able to kind of take on my own traumas and go, well, how can I help other people? You know, how can I help them? And simply I can help them by just talking about my story. So talking about my childhood trauma and talking about all this sort of stuff. Yeah. But being like, hey, you know what? It's all right. I mean, it's shit, but it's all right because you can kind of pull yourself together, have a drink, and, you know,
and put on your lipstick
and get on with it. So
do you ever? I mean, obviously you have time on your own, and it's your personal space and and your, you know, your family time or whatever it is. But do you ever take her off and just be what you were before, what you are?
Yeah. As soon as it's done, it's done. I mean, I take her off sometimes even when I've got her on.
Even for you, it's possible to have too much Ginny, I suppose.
Honestly, it's even for me, it's always too much. I think the thing about creating a character, and that's the other thing, is that when I say the character and talk about the character, when I'm performing on stage or if I'm doing telly, if I'm doing something that kind of is the character, I can talk to you now as a kind of different Ginny. This is kind of a more relatable Ginny, you know. Yeah. And it sounds bizarre, I know, but to me, and then I go on stage. I suppose I struggle with people before. I just was in makeup and playing the character. It wasn't until I went on these sort of TV shows that people saw me out of drag and saw the other side of me.
Yes.
So again, in the other way of kind of Ginny Lemon changing is that Ginny Lemon isn't just the, you know, blue eyebrows and head to toe in yellow and a big yellow wig anymore. Ginny Lemon is also this person who's talking to you like this in just a relaxed, you know, just a touch of zest.
Touch.
And a bit of a mustache, you know. So
I think that there's something you're fascinating to listen to, I think, because I think that what you identified quite early on was that everybody in life was just playing a role. That everybody's like one person pretending to be something else, right? And that actually that's allowed you to do both. You know, it's funny when it comes back to this thing about fame, because fame probably really suits you, actually, because you recognise that everybody was playing some role or other. Like, I'm the responsible one, not responsible at all. I'm the, angry one, not angry at all. I'm the, you could see that everybody was just pretending in a way, or, not pretending, but putting on something.
I suppose for me, I've kind of always stuck out like a sore thumb. I've always been the yellow sheep of the family. So it's kind of like, for me, I say this now, it's quite funny because people have always shouted at me on the street, always, ever since I can remember. People have always had something to say or some come up to me and say something. Now, it's mainly positive and it's nice things. So I'm kind of used to that interaction of people on the street coming up to me because before, you know, growing up in the 90s and the noughties, I used to get, you know, abuse for being gay, abuse for being queer, abuse for being whatever label people wanted to label with me at the time. And now, you know, I had this incident in Malvern the other day, of all places. I was in Malvern doing my bits, having a look around the shops, and some old geezer came up to me. Typically, you know, I'm going to stereotype here, a boiled gammon, came up to me, and I thought, well, here we go. Here's some sort of hate crime about to happen. Here we go. I'll put it in my book, and, you know, I'll get my ledger. And they come up to me and they said, hey, I watched you on Drag Race with my family, and you were my favourite, and I just really wanted to say hello. And it stopped me in my tracks, and I thought,
wow.
I thought all these years people have been judging me. I've kind of done the same thing as I've started judging other people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That what they're going to say to me. And in fact, I should take a sip of my own medicine and go, well, actually, don't judge people by how they look or, you know, judge people by the interactions that you have with them and how they speak to you and how they actually are instead of how they look or you perceive them to
Absolutely.
be.
What a wonderful story and realisation.
Yeah.
You can't judge those books by the covers. It's amazing.
And talking about covers.
Yes. Oh, yeah. What a segue.
Right.
What a
There you
segue.
go. Like,
Oh.
it's like 8:00 in the morning, man. I have done my work for the day.
That is far more than an 8 a.m. segue. That was gold.
Right?
That was audio gold.
We said that Chesney does music, so
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe that Chesney may have a gift for you, Ginny.
Yeah.
Handing it over to
I
you,
love
Chesney.
pressing.
I thought you might. Well, every week, our lovely guest chooses a song that they have some kind of emotional connection to, happy or sad. And then I recreate that song in my studio as a gift for our guest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew I lived for presents.
So tell us which song you chose, and we'll play it.
So I believe when we spoke, it was Cloud Busting by Kate Bush. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
So, I mean, that song, that's another tricky thing is that it's actually one of my favourite quotes. And I always use when people ask me, what is your favourite quote? I always go, I just know that something good is going to happen.
Right.
Because that's kind of one of the licks in the song. And this particular song has always been a kind of mantra for me. And I've always adored Kate from such a young age. And
Me too.
when, I suppose one of the most special memories I have is that when we went to see Kate in London when she did her, I can't remember, was it 2014 shows? I think it was.
Right. Yeah.
Or 2012, I can't remember. The Before the Dawn shows, I went to see them with my husband. We were very lucky to get tickets. And it was right at the end, and she performed Cloud Busting for the encore. And so I got down on one knee and proposed to my husband.
Oh, amazing.
I love that.
That's why this song is so special to me. And I was going to do it during another song, his favourite song, but then I didn't want to ruin it, so we had to wait.
Wait for your favourite song.
Yeah, exactly. I could ruin mine, that's fine.
Oh, well, especially for you then, Ginny Lemon, here is Chesney Hawkes performing Cloud Busting.
Yay!
I still dream of Organon. I wake up crying, you make it rain, and you're just in reach. When you sleep, escape me. You're like my yo-yo that glowed in the dark. What made it special, made it dangerous, so I buried it and forget. But every time it rains, you're here in my head, like the sun coming out. Ooh, I just know that something good is gonna happen. I don't know when, but just saying it could even make it happen. On top of the world, looking over the edge, you could see them coming. You look too small in that big black car to be a threat to the men in power. I hit my yo-yo in the garden. I can't hide you from the government. Oh God, Daddy, I won't forget. Cause every time it rains, you're here in my head, like the sun coming out. Ooh, I just know that something good is gonna happen. I don't know when, but just saying it could even make it happen. Ooh, and every time it rains, you're here in my head, like the sun coming out, like your sun's coming out. Ooh, I just know that something good is gonna happen. I don't know when, but just saying it could even make it happen. Just saying it could even make it happen. No. Hey, 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 yo. Hey, 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 yo. Your sun's coming out.
Just for you, Ginny Lemon, Chesney Hawkes performing Cloud Busting. Well done, Ches.
That was amazing!
That was wonderful, Ches.
Yeah, well done.
Oh, that was so beautiful. I feel it gave me goosebumps, which that song always does. And that was beautiful, Ches. You did it! I can't believe it.
wasn't an easy one,
Well-
right, Ches? Can't have
Well,
been.
I thought about all sorts of different ways of doing it because obviously it's very well known for its string part,
Yeah.
you know? And I did have a little play with that, but then I just started playing with the guitar. I was like, oh my God, this feels so good like this, you know?
Yeah.
And it helped because I'm a massive Kate Bush fan. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm right there with you on that. And especially that album, the Hounds of Love album was just it was everything for me. And I was in love with Kate Bush in 1986 or whenever that record came out. And, you know, running up that hill and Cloud Busting was it's just a beautiful piece of work, you know. It's amazing. So it was my absolute pleasure to do that for you, Ginny.
Oh, I absolutely loved it. So I feel so special. I can't believe that this is my life, you know. I get to all the things that I've said during this thing, but then I get to do stuff like this with you, and then you've sung an amazing cover for me, and I feel so special. So thank you so much. I feel emotional.
You are special, Ginny Lemon. You are special.
You are special, Ginny
Yeah.
Lemon.
And I'll make sure I send you a copy of that, for, you know, so you
Oh,
can...
please do. So now
That is
when are we going to do that as a duet? So
Well, yeah, that's true, because you're a musician too, Ginny.
I am
Like-
actually going to be releasing an album very shortly.
Ah.
But I will send you it, Ches. I will send you it, and you can have a little listen. And you can share with Lynn and Neil as well. But I mean, have a little listen and see what you think, because I'm quite proud of this one. So yeah, singing, songwriting was kind of what I actually did, and then Ginny is what I ended up doing. So it'll be nice to combine the two. So so that just means we have to do a duet, Ches.
Well, of course we do. Of course we do.
Yeah.
And we'll make that happen for sure. But is this album under Ginny Lemon or is it under your other
No, it's
pseudonym?
under Ginny Lemon. I'm using their platform as much as I can.
Yeah,
milking
good idea.
it as much as I can. And it's called Tonic, so it's called Ginny Lemon Tonic, which it's quite nice, and it really is kind of. I wrote it in lockdown after Drag Race, so it's been my tonic. That's the only way I can describe it. You know, it's really been my kind of. I tried to channel as much energy and all of those things that we've been talking about into art and into creating and into songwriting. That's the thing I love to do. That's the thing that I'm kind of private about. You know, I like to go away in my little room and write my little ditties and then see what happens.
I can't wait to hear them. I really can't wait to hear them.
Oh well, I'll send them to you. I've got everything ready. I can't believe it. I'll text you. So I'm so excited. I'll have to message you. I feel like a proper person. I've got a proper album coming out and everything. Can't believe
It's
it.
amazing, Ginny. I know.
Can I ask you, right, like, I'm not going to delve anymore, but, like, say that our listener, right, our one listener, say that our listener is maybe a teenager and living where you were in the situation that you were in when you were a teenager. What words of advice would you give them?
This is a tough one. And I was asked a very similar question recently, and the only thing I could say was fight. And I said but I think that was too aggressive. So I added fierceness and fabulousness. So fight, fierce, and fabulousness are my three things, because it kind of softens the fight element. So it's all about kind of that thing that you want for, fight for it, you know, and do it with style. Do it looking the best you can absolutely do it, you know, getting those stares, really embracing it. And, you know, obviously everything will work out or it won't work out. Things are tough. And it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. So if you do that journey, you know, fighting, fabulousness and fierceness, then hopefully it'll make that journey to the destination a bit more bearable.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, well, look, I think it's time to wrap things up. Ginny, that has just been fabulous. I've really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
and
thank you
Your
so
fabulous
much for coming on.
company. You're such
Oh,
great
you would have
company.
enjoyed anything, Neil. You're drunk. You don't know what you're saying.
Ginny Lemon, thank you so much.
Thank
You've
you,
been
Ginny.
amazing.
Thank you.
Thank
We love you.
Bye, Babs. Love you.
You've
Mwah,
been
mwah, mwah, mwah. Chatty
so
bye.
awesome.
Tatty bye.
Chatty bye.
There we go, team. The fabulous Ginny Lemon, right?
She was
How
so wonderful.
enjoyable was
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just the tonic we needed.
It was just a tonic, considering we're, dear listener, it's so early in the morning here in the US that Chesney is, well, he's now disrobed and
Yeah.
Heel is
Naked
drunk.
now.
right? We needed someone to hold that.
We
that
needed the
whole
right
thing.
tonic, right? We
Yeah,
needed the
we
right
need
tonic.
Hold us together. Yeah,
She's really fascinating, I think. You know,
Very
like,
fascinating.
I think as well, it'd be really interesting to see how she develops, or they develop, I guess.
They develop,
Because I feel like they're only showing a little bit of themselves.
Oh,
I think there's
absolutely.
much more to show. Much more to show.
Oh, I think that'll come, Lynn. I really do think it will. I thought exactly the same thing, doing the story of the name. And yeah, I was hoping that maybe go back to her original name and everything, but it is interesting what was left
There's
out.
no-
Yeah.
But I do honestly feel like, from Ginny's point of view, that name didn't represent her. So really
Agreed.
didn't. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
worth
it's not-
saying. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
I-
saying,
absolutely.
I used to own this pair of shoes. It'd be
Yes,
like,
yeah.
what do you need to know
Why
that
would you
for?
even mention that?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I really like the thing of finding out what your name is because you drink gin.
I know.
Oh, it's Ginny. And you go, oh, yes, I like that.
And you fancy a slice. Yeah.
Fancy a slice? Yeah.
Fancy a slice.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
no,
There
it.
was a lovely quote that I read. We didn't get time to bring it up, actually. I thought it was lovely. I've never felt comfortable in my body. I've suppressed it for years. I do drag as a release. I found more success as a woman than I ever did as a man. And I realised I was neither of these things.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Obviously,
amazing.
because Ginny, obviously, identifies as non-binary. Yeah, I thought that was lovely, actually. Shame we
One
didn't
of
get
the
time to bring
things
that
as
up.
well that I love about them is it's also similar, the way that I feel about Gina Bloom. Because you remember Gina Bloom from
Season
the last
2?
series,
Yeah.
season 2, right? My friend who's transgender. And that transgender is the least interesting thing about her.
Yes.
That I feel like with Ginny, that when we talk about what identity someone is in terms of sex, like what gender they are, it's like limiting. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter what
irrelevant,
gender
yeah.
Ginny is. It really doesn't matter, because the person that they are is fascinating, you know?
Yeah. And talented and funny and, as you said, all of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also love, there is a lot of integrity there.
Hugely. Well, you could tell the integrity just from talking with them.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
there's a lot to digest there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, talking of digesting, how much have you digested with vanilla vodka or whatever it is?
I've only had about 4.
Yeah, better have another one then, eh?
Oh my
Here
God.
it
comes.
You know, it
The
feels
final.
the weirdest thing about it. I don't know where you are with this, Chesney, but it feels even weirder because it's so early in the morning.
Yeah.
here. I'm like,
Exactly.
oh my
It's pretty
God.
early for him. It's like
Yeah.
it's 4:00 in the afternoon. I mean, I guess that is.
I just want to take myself back
3
to
o'clock.
Sunday night in the Transvestite nightclub with Greta Grip and Sally Switchboard, because I had so much fun, and I did decide that if I was ever going to go down that route, I've got my name, so I've got the starters for it.
What's
Oh,
your
what
name?
is it?
I'd be Sue the Council. So I've got my name and I've got my lipstick. Okay, so there's a start, right?
Great. There's so much in that name. I feel like you need therapy already. Wonderful.
Oh my God.
Dear.
Anyway, loves, I think we might have come to that time. Do you
I think we've
We
peaked, haven't we?
have one more round of applause for the fabulous Ginny. Come on, then.
Yeah. Awesome, Ginny Lemon. So we will see you all next time. And until then,
I have been Ferguson.
I've been Harrington.
And I've been Hawks.
Woohoo!
Thank you, everybody. Take
Thanks,
care.
listeners.
Bye-bye. You've been listening to Ferguson Harrington Hawks with Lynn Ferguson, Neil Harrington and Chesney Hawks. Written and produced for Source Productions by, surprise, surprise, Lynn Ferguson, Neil Harrington and Chesney Hawks.